How do we view God? He's beyond. As a matter of fact, once a chassid asked another, what do you say about God? And he started to give some kind of description. And he rebuked him. God? There's nothing he can say. Can't even say that he's beyond, because beyond means you're beyond something. You can't say he's a thing, because he's not a thing. He's no thing. Yet, we make reference to God as God's kindness. We make reference to God's wisdom. The Torah is his wisdom. How does that fit with the fact that there's no parameter? There's no definition. Beyond definition. The moment you start giving some definition, oh, God's beyond that. So how do the two jive? Welcome to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zurich and Kadeshim in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We conclude today chapter 48. In this chapter, we're understanding and appreciating God as creator. And where that goes will be into the next chapter to appreciate our relationship with God. But for now, let's understand God as creator as we conclude this chapter. So we gave as a metaphor the fact that we create in our minds a whole scene, right? When you might be daydreaming a vacation with your family, sitting around a bonfire, celebrating together, or sitting around a Shabbos table, celebrating together. You create the whole scene in your mind. All of the image of that is dependent on you thinking it. The moment you stop to think it, it no longer exists. Well, that's the way God creates you and I. The difference is not just the image of us in the mind of God, but we are literally, physically, us in the entire universe, from the smallest mosquito to the galaxy itself and galaxies themselves, right? We are in God's mind, and God is knowing himself, knows us. How do we understand that exactly? Does it make sense? Well, Maimonides' Rambam gives us a little insight that how God is different than us, because he is the knowledge, the knower, and the known all at the same time. In the human, there's three separate things. The knower is me, the person that is a knower of something. The knowledge is the brain, that's the tool of knowledge, right? That allows me, the knower, right? Allows me what? To know the known, right? That I'm speaking to you right now. You're watching me right now. That's the known. 2 + 2 = 4. That's the known, which is outside of me. Right. So I'm the knower. My brain is the knowledge, and the known is, the information. Whatever information. 2 + 2 = 4. That's an information that I am in Chabad Zich and Kadeshim, speaking on 4 different platforms to you is the known. By God, they're all one and the same. So I'm knowing something outside of me. God is not knowing something outside of him. It's of him because he's the knower, the knowledge, and the known, all in the same, all the same being, shall we say, right? So he's not like looking up on high and looking down now, said, wow, this is so nice. Ronnie Fine is learning Tanya with, many people right now. Oh, let's throw candy to all those people that are learning Tanya right now. How wonderful that is. And that's how God's aware. Of course, there's nothing blocking his vision because he doesn't have a physical eye that can be blocked from seeing something. So he can see, but it's outside of him. God forbid. That's the way we envision things, but that's not the way it is. Just like I know what's going on, in my mind, I'm creating the reality of the, when I daydream about having my family together, I create that reality. Well, that's only the image. It's not the fact of it. It's just the image of it. God, he's giving reality to me right now, being in his mind, if you will. We have no real power to comprehend that idea because we don't have an experience of that. We don't have a true understanding of that. I'm saying the words, and I understand why it would have to be that way, because if it weren't, then God is like above looking below to see what I'm doing. I'm outside of him. Well, that means there's something besides him. No. In a note, the Alter Rebbe brings that this statement of Maimonides, of Rambam, saying that God is the knower, the knowledge, and the known as one entity, is a debate amongst the scholars. The Maharal from Prague wrote that, how could you give to God an equality? God has no qualities. He's beyond anything. He's no thing. The moment you give him a quality, you're giving him a definition, you're giving him a limitation. How do you say that about God? Good question. So, and it seems to be that the Kabbalists agree with Maimonides. But the Maharal has a very valid question. How could you say that about God? Well, the answer Hasidus explains is because there's God and there's godliness. God, beyond any definition, even intelligence. Even to say that God is, the ultimate, brain, the ultimate wisdom. That's a definition of sorts. That's a limitation. That's a thing. God's beyond anything. Things is something he creates. So that's true when you speak about the core essence of God beyond anything. But then God contracted upon his infinite nature to create a finite, so-called, finite is the right word, but a divine attributes in the world of Atzilus. It's a world that has definition, There's wisdom, there's chachma, there's bina, das, there's wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. There's chesed, gvur, tiferet, netzach, yisoid. Malchus are 7. Emotions, those are things that emanate from God. In Atzilus, in the world of Atzilus, the world of emanation. Not God as creator, but God emanating from his core essence is beyond anything. He's no thing, emanates something. That something is divine knowledge, divine wisdom, divine kindness. So it has definition, right? But it's something beyond us. Because God's knowledge, he's the knower, the knowledge, and the known as one. So is that a thing? It's a thing. It's a godly thing. It's not God in his core essence that's beyond. And God does that. Ultimately, he does that so we can have a relationship with him, that we can own our connection to him and be like him. Because we also have wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, Chabad. That's why we're all Chabad. We also have kindness that could be reflective of God's kindness, and so on. So therefore, both things are true. God, no thing. Godliness is something. It is something in a definable, limited fashion, because wisdom is wisdom, understanding is understanding. They're not the same. Yet, God's wisdom is not our wisdom, as we explained, right? So, therefore, with God's knowledge that is beyond us and has a quality of infinity to it, a quality of it, even though it's not true infinity, because it's a thing, it's a something. But a thing that transcends our understanding of it and has an infinite quality. And this then is what God embraces us, creates us, something from nothing, ex nihilo, from the knowledge, the knower, the known that he has of us. It's the source of creation, right? That he encompasses us in the act of creation. By knowing, we are. I think, therefore I am. Well, the real statement is, God knows, therefore I am. God is constantly knowing me, not because I'm outside of him, because I'm a part of him, as he is the knower, the knowledge, and the known all at once. Very powerful idea. Any questions, any comments? With that, we conclude chapter 48. This is all about God as creator, not about our relationship to God, which we will understand in the next chapter, how we take it the next step forward.
You talk much about contraction.
Yeah, we said that because of contraction. So from a no thing comes a something. Yeah, exactly.
He's all the like contraction.
Yeah. And so it was, today's class and the last few classes have been more abstract, but we're going to see where this is all leading to. That's very important. I hope everybody followed.
I don't know. Reality is what you focus on.
Okay, I don't see any questions. So we're going to go to Rambam. Okay. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you for Chabad Tzvich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and pleasure to share with you, Tanya. Thank you for joining. Have an amazing, wonderful day.